1 milyon, tapos napasabay dun sa plunder ka rin, tapos non-bailable. Bantayan nyo yung mga kaso. Pag medyo kumampi, etc., hindi mo sure kung ifa-file o kaya bailable. Pagkakalaban, non-bailable ka agad.
You believe
diba?
there is undeclared martial law?
Kung hindi man, we're nearing that.
What's up mga kababayan, page trending here. Dito sa video natin ngayon ay ating panoorin na pakinggan si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano na kung saan walang balak di umano na dumalo ito sa zona ni BBM sapagkat hindi na malingid sa ating kaalaman na hindi niya kaalyansa ito at isa rin siya sa mga target na pabagsakin o siraan ng pangalan. Kung kaya naman ang wika di umano nito kung sino mga nakita nyo na nauupo sa zona sila ang mga tunay na buwaya na nasa loob ng gobyerno. Grabe naman talaga. Pero bago ang lahat, huwag niyo po sana nakalimutang mag-like at subscribe para updated ka sa mga uploads ko araw-araw. At yun na nga mga kababayan, dagdag pa niya na wala ng kalayaan ang bansa pagdating sa pagbibigay kritiko o opinyon sa administrasyong ito na lahat na lamang nilalagay sa kulungan at kinakasuhan tulad na lamang ng nangyari dito nga kay Senator Marcoleta na siyang binigyang diin nitong si Senator Cayetano. Kung kaya naman hindi ko na patatagalin pa, heto na ang buong video.
Our democracy is in danger and talagang pag nagsalita ka, target ka bigla. It's about freedom and democracy, di ba? So, tignan nyo lahat ng nakakasuhan at lahat ng nakukulong, di ba? Pag tahimik ka at sumama ka, parang if you can't beat them, join them, happy ka. Pero malungkot ang bansa. Pero pag tayuan mo yung mga prinsipyo mo, ikaw pa kakasuhan, di ba?
Will this be that the Senate is already resuming with impeachment, with budget, with LEDAC bills?
We have a crisis of hope. Marami tayong hinaharap na crisis ngayon, di ba? Crisis ng tiwala sa gobyerno. I'm not talking about the administration lang, but to everyone. Hindi lang dahil sa batuhan ng akusasyon kasi after 1 year, hindi pa klaro yung reforms dun sa flood control at infrastructure scandal. Yung day-to-day na corruption, whether yan ay traffic violation, yan ay permits, ay parang naging naging sa kultura na natin. Having said that, unknown pa or uncertain kung ano nangyayari sa Middle East, kaya ang presyo ng gasolina, asahan nyo na bababa ng konti, after 2 months, 3 months, tataas na naman. Maraming maliliit na negosyo ay umaangal na hirap na po sila. So on one side, magandang naitaas yung minimum wage, especially sa malalaking kumpanya na napakaganda naman ng profit margins. On the other hand, for small businesses, may question mark din, di ba? Tapos yung spending, OFWs nangangamba na pag tinamaan nga yung mga bansa nila, lalo sa Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, ay baka mawalan sila ng trabaho. Then of course, for many in the opposition, yung undeclared martial law is an issue and meron nga bang election sa 2028. So all of this, SONA is an opportunity to give some certainty. SONA is an opportunity not to pin the hopes on the administration, but hope na on certain areas pwede magkaisa. Di ba? Halimbawa sa economy, when I had the chance to speak to many of the high officials in my short stint as a Senate President, sinabi ko sa kanila yon na okay sa akin yung prioritize yung ekonomiya, okay sa akin at okay yung fair at saka maayos na impeachment, and then paano natin i-resolve yung flood control na katanggap-tanggap. So it's an opportunity, mamaya is an opportunity, but as you said nga, kanina binibilang ko lang yung oras So if you have to wake up at 7 to be prepared and to be here at 10 for the impeachment trial, may 1 hour leisurely lunch ka. But let's say 4 to 7 yung session. So ang matitira mo lang meeting time, if you like meeting ng lunch, breakfast or dinner, is dinner. So kung makauwi ka ng mga 9 o'clock, magbabasa ka ng 1-2 oras, 11, gising ka ulit ng 6-7, parang talagang ang gagawin mo na lang ay yung session hall at saka yung impeachment ng Monday to Wednesday. Meron naman Thursday to Saturday, But given that our senators are elected nationwide at dapat nagpapakita din kami sa other parts of the country, it'll be a challenging, hindi ko talaga malaman kung 3 months, 6 months, meron ngayon sinabi ni Senator Win na sa takbo ngayon baka umabot ng 1 year. So let's see. But we just have to rise to the challenge.
How will you be adjusting, sir? Knowing na tao rin naman kayo at the budget.
Partly you plan it. Well, yun yung main concern ko. Malaki sa mga skandalo ay hugot sa budget. So yung mas concern ko nga na pag umabot to ng late October, November, kasi remember kahit na November na yung budget hearings dito or October during the break, binabantayan na namin yung sa House, binabasa na namin yun So yun ang medyo mabigat. Tapos alam na ilan na ba yung secretaries na hindi pa nako-confirm? Diba?
Marami pa, sir. Parang 8. Pero Senator, sir,
Ano ng minority?
sa atin kayo ng...
I'll just have
Yeah. Sir, atin kayo mamaya at bakit po kayo naka-block?
Hindi pa kami nag-uusap lahat. Ako mas preference ko siguro panoorin na lang sa TV. Baka mas komportable din yung administrasyon that way, and it's my simple way of protesting pati sa pagblablack. Unlike in 1986, 87 na ramdam talaga na may question of democracy. Ngayon, syempre it's more of poverty, economy at saka yung corruption. But I really believe that our democracy is in danger, and talagang pag nagsalita ka, target ka bigla.
May undeclared martial law, sir. Kanina, nung sinabi niyo may undeclared martial law. What did you mean?
That's been said for the last 6 months, di ba? It's about freedom.
Totoo no mga kababayan na parang silent martial law nga nangyayari sa loob ng gobyerno. Na kapag di ka kakampi, ididikdik ka no, sa kulungan. Kamukha na lang ng nangyari dito kina Senator Marcolita.
Freedom and democracy, di ba? So, tignan nyo lahat ng nakakasuhan at lahat ng nakukulong, di ba? Pag tahimik ka at sumama ka, parang if you can't beat them, join them, happy ka. Pero malungkot ang bansa. Pero pag tayuan mo yung mga prinsipyo mo, ikaw pa kakasuhan, di ba? This morning lang I was meditating on Mike Defensor, no? I don't know his activities. I haven't kept in touch with him, but assuming he donated money. So assuming 50 million yung plunder, na hindi kami naniniwala tama yung interpretation kay Senator Marcoleta. Pero kung nag-donate ka ng 1,000, 1,000,000, tapos napasabay dun sa plunder ka rin, tapos non-bailable. Bantayan nyo yung mga kaso. Pag medyo kumampi, etc., hindi mo sure kung ifa-file o kaya bailable. Pagkakalaban, non-bailable ka agad.
You believe there is undeclared martial law, sir?
Kung hindi man, we're nearing that. Diba? Kung vlogger ka, nakakampi, wala naman cyber libel, wala namang warrant ka agad. Pagkakalabang ka, nandyan na kaagad. Diba? You also ask your editors, your owners of the networks.
Agree ba kayo doon sa manika ni Senator Cayetano mga kababayan? Paki-comment nga sa ating comment section ng ating mapag-usapan. Dahil kung ako ang tatanungin ganito ang schema nila, no? Nasisirain ka sa harap ng kamera at ang matindi pa ipapakulong ka sa kasong hindi mo naman ginawa.
Yung pressures kung meron o wala, kayo makakasagot niyan. Pero sa business at sa politika, even sa religious leaders, mga nakakausap ko na nakikita at nararamdaman nila na sana hindi. So one big assurance is paulit-ulit sabihin ng Malacanang na may election sa 2028, walang tsa-tsa, hindi i-abolish ang Senado. No, and one way to ensure that is yung numbers. To say na 2/3 is really 16. Kasi nagsimula yan sa 12:13 Diba? Tapos ngayon, first few days sinabi nga 16. But then may mga gumagalaw na questionin na sa Supreme Court o kaya tignan natin o kaya agahan natin yung pag ano nito, no. So it's dangerous times. Okay?
Sir, araw-araw, sir, araw-araw may may tweet si
Ganun,
Senator.
na paggising sa umaga ako naalala niya. From May 11 when I took the job, I knew that many persecution will be coming my way. Hindi ko lang na-expect it's through a senior senator na maraming bilib sa investigation skills. But ongoing at everyday naman, what do you call this, may konti siyang amendment, etc. But like yung sinabi niya today, Hindi ko alam saan nanggaling yon. I'm not the secretary of DPWH. I'm not the regional director. I'm not an engineer, di ba? So, but of course, taga-tagig ako. So, as much as I can, binabantayan ko. It's on the record. I never said certain things that he says I'm saying or doing. But pag may nabubuko kaming mali, kayo, di ba nakita niyo yung nung mag-isa akong naghihiring halos dito dun sa bridge na bumaksak sa Isabela. May in-expose din ako ng mga tiwali na contractor na kung ano-anong ginagawa, whether it's in our city or otherwise. Hanggang ngayon, hindi nakakasuhan yung contractor na yon, no? So, marami kaming nakalaban sa Taguig, maraming natanggal, whether sa local government, sa national government, contractor. So, maaring yun yung mga nagsusumbong. So, i-verify lang nila mabuti. Pero harapin namin yon. Wala naman kaming choice kundi harapin yon. Ang hinihingi lang naman namin is that makita nung tao yung bigger picture na kung sinong nag-iimbestiga, kung sinong nag-criticize, biglang sila yung gustong imbestigahan. Hindi naman natin inaatrasan yan, pero hindi dapat ang ma-single out, di ba? So, ang dami, may mahaba ako listahan ng mga pwedeng tignan. So, having said that, let's finish the SONA, the contra SONA, then we'll have all the time for both the impeachment and allegations of corruption. But harapin natin yan.
May insertion daw po kayo ng more than 6 billion pesos sa 2025 budget.
Kapag ka minority, insertion. Pag majority, amendment. Di ba?
So,
Pagka
so, meron, sir,
majority, pwedeng lahat ng senador may amendment and sasagutin ko sa tamang forum at panahon kahit sa harap nyo. But I want na ilatag niya yung ano ba talaga ang sinasabi niya, magkano, saan, etc. So, ang sinasabi niya ba, basta't nasa budget at nasa Taguig, ako na naglagay nun. Walang ibang officials from the cabinet to, di ba? Hindi mo masasagot yung allegation nang hindi buo eh. So, alimbawa, di ba yung sinabi? Pag sinabing mainstream media, maraming bayaran. Hindi ba unfair sa inyong lahat yun? Hindi ba unfair sa lahat, pati sa mga ano yun, di ba? So,
Correct.
sabihin mo, sino, paano, magkano, para masagot mo. Di ba?
So, din po siya sa tweet na yung mga projects na nabayaran ng
alin project nga yun? Alin project yun?
So,
So,
gusto niyo
pag sinabi kong may radio, Nympha, matanda na tayo. Walang allegation na sinasagot na hindi mo alam kung ano yung allegation. Di ba? So, pag sinabi kong meron dyan, radio anchor o anchor sa TV o may vlogger dyan, nabigyan, may PR, sasagutin mo.
Pero
Hindi mo alam kung anong...
Pero masasiguro niyo po walang ghost sa...
Sorry, last question. Yes?
Sinasabi niyo po ang right to place para sa inyo ay sa Kayanas.
Ang para sa administrasyon na to, lahat ng kritiko nila gusto nila sa Payatas.
Correct.
So I leave it to God, I leave it to our people. Kilala niyo ako, kilala niyo yung naging patakaran ko. You ask our reputation sa Taguig kung pumapayag kami ng kalukuhan. Kaya nga maraming galit na contractor eh. Kasi nga, mahigpit ang patakaran. Kung may nakalusot dyan, etc., let's see. Diba? But you know us. You know us. You might not always like me. Maybe more times, asar o hindi, etc. But you know us. You know us. And people know us. Diba?
Pero sa sinabi niyo na walang ghost project sa
Sabi ko, to my knowledge, walang ghost project.
Okay.
It's exparate. I've said that again and
opposition, but it would seem that we are now the only remaining true opposition party. Our goals are quite well defined. First, to keep the focus on massive corruption in government, specifically the so-called floodgate, which is a 1 trillion peso plus corruption. Number two, to make sure that the voice of the people is heard. I am talking about the impeachment trial against Vice President Sara Duterte, who, while not a member of the party, it would seem that there is some irony in the fact that the person who is the most trusted public official right now is being prosecuted for supposed betrayal of public trust. And of course, number three is obviously to prepare for the 2028 elections, because we believe that there should be a sea change in the personnel in government in order to overhaul the present system where the bending the law, massive corruption, persecution of political opponents, and suppression of dissent appears to be the new normal.
But if you're talking about overhauling the system, baka naman mamaya ibabalik nyo lang yung mga taon dati ni dating Pangulong Duterte. So it's not overhauling, but just bringing back those old people who served under the Duterte administration.
Well, it's a mixture of old and new. Parang
Okay.
kasal yan eh. Ha? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Yes.
Although I'm not sure what the blue is. Well, the blue is the Filipino people now because of everything that's happening. What we mean is the push for federalism, which was not realized during the last administration, will be the focal point of any new administration. Of course, on the assumption that we gather victory in the next election. So we believe that it is the form of government, not just the people in government, but the form of government should be overhauled. The 1986 Constitution has served its purpose. It's a new day. It's a new generation. It's a new century. And our fundamental law should adapt to the new needs of this present dispensation.
Apo, but yung former Duterte administration, apart from the war on drugs, yung campaign niya centered on federalism as well. And,
Yes.
And you recognize naman that it was not realized during his term. So what is changing right now in terms of the concept of federalism in relation to what you are pushing for right now?
I believe that what has changed is that people now realize that a highly centralized government does not work for the Philippines. In the same manner that it did not work for a lot of countries which are highly segmented in terms not only of geography but of population,
Okay.
of other cultures. We have our brother Muslims,
Yes.
and then we have the indigenous peoples whose needs are right now being underserved.
Okay. And now, there are speculations that PDP President Mayor Baste Duterte might run for president if his sister VP Sara is convicted by the impeachment court. Tama ba yung ating hinuha that Baste Duterte is the plan B of the Duterte camp?
That is highly speculative because we are not even thinking about that because as of now, we are still confident that the prosecution will not be able to convince the requisite 16 senators in order to
Pero kung mangyari man, no, itong impeachment, agree ba kayo na si Mayor Baste na lang ang ipalit? Kundi man pwede itong si VP Sara, mga kababayan, paki-comment nga yung opinion sa ating comment section ng ating mapag-usapan. Dahil kung akong tatanungin, payag ako, no, basta mabalik labang ang katahimikan sa ating bansa.
convict of the vice president. So as we observe the impeachment trials, it would appear that the prosecution case so far has been weak, the presentation is weak, and I believe that the people are still trusting of the vice president. And since the impeachment is a political process, that should be a factor in the decision-making process of the senators, judges.
But you know, sabi nga nila, in politics, you should be at least a step or two steps ahead in terms of planning, di ba? So, hindi man lang ito kino-consider, hindi pinag-uusapan because, you know, in politics, anything is possible.
That's true. That's true. But with the present leadership now, we are highly adaptable. We have a lean, mean fighting machine in the
Yes.
PDP, and whatever political exigencies may arise in the future, we can quickly adapt to it.
Kumbaga, hindi nyo pa pinag-iisipan that there's an other option apart from Inday Sara Duterte.
Not at the moment.
Not at the
Well, in fact, everything is so fluid. What we are focusing now is the issue of corruption, which appears to, it would appear that it is being swept under the rug because of the diversion of the impeachment as well as other issues.
Okay. Now, during the PDP meeting last Saturday, Mayor Baste also said Senator Rodante Marcoleta was targeted for pushing for the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee probe into the flood control projects. Senator Robin Padilla is also under investigation for supposedly helping Senator Bato de la Rosa elude arrest. What can PDP do about this?
We are extending whatever help we can in the form of legal assistance to those who are under siege, so to speak, mobilizing public opinion, and well, appearing in programs such as this in order to give the people the real picture as to these continued persecutions right now. It is Senator Cayetano who is under fire for supposed anomalies in the 2019 SEA Games, when my other group, the Citizens Crime Watch, is the complainant in 2019. And had we seen any role that Senator Cayetano played in that anomaly, we would have filed a case against him as well. But as of now, it is between the BCDA and a certain entity called MTD Capital Berhad that seems to be the culprit in an 11 billion anomaly with respect to the games.
Okay, so we are just thinking about this, because Mayor Baste, balikan ko lang po si Mayor Baste, said his statement about calling for the head of PBBM was taken out of context. And do you think the NBI will actually just take that like a grain of salt?
Well, it will not, because, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The director of the NBI is there for only one purpose, and which is to persecute the perceived enemies of the present administration. The PDP has time and again said and reiterated and repeated its position that we are against an extra constitutional regime change, that we disavow the use of any form of violence. So whatever we say about getting the head of the president, etc., are just figures of speech. Now, of course, if the director wants to take it literally, as he is wont to do in cases such as these, there is nothing we can do to stop that. That is his role as the attack dog of the present administration.
Okay, so you call him an attack dog. Why?
Well, obviously, you can see that the pattern of harassment is there. Can you imagine issuing repeated subpoena to the 18 Marines who are supposed to be the witnesses in a grand corruption, and yet they're the ones being, what we felt is that they are the ones being investigated to Mike Defensor, investigating Robin Padilla when the secretary of the DILG himself said that there is no order to arrest Senator Bato, and he was there at the Senate premises to reassure the then Senate President Cayetano that there was no such order. So why should there be obstruction of justice proceedings against Senator Padilla, etc., etc.? I can go on and on, but we only have 30 minutes.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'll leave it at that.
And then, of course, Attorney kasi Malacanang argues that the cases against Senator Marcoleta, the investigation to other PDP senators, and other opposition, members of the opposition, are purely based on evidence and not politics. So, how do you respond to that?
Well, that is poppycock, of course. In my case, just in my case, I have been with the opposition for a long time. I was with Doy Laurel when he was in opposition to Cory Aquino. I was with ERAP when he was in opposition to GMA.
Yes.
And I have had no cases filed against me. Now I have cases for cyber libel, sedition, inciting to sedition. This is the only administration I have seen that is really utilizing the concept of lawfare or legal warfare to the hilt. So, to that extent, how can you believe anything that comes out of these spokespersons of Malacanang when it comes to these things?
So, I'm just wondering po, kasi si Senator Robin Padilla, he was the president, correct? Before Baste Duterte. So, ano yung magiging role niya ngayon while he is no longer an officer of PDP? Ano na magiging role ni Senator Robin Padilla now that he stepped down as the president of PDP?
Senator Robin stepped down because he wanted to concentrate on his legislative duties. That was clear from the time that he resigned as party president to be replaced by Mayor Baste. That will still be his role. He will be a lead player in pushing for the legislative agenda of the PDP. He has a platform in the form of his Senate position, privileged speeches, etc. He is a senator judge. And lastly, he's a well-known public figure with a great degree of popularity who can use that popularity to get the message across with respect to the advocacies of the PDP.
But
So that's already a very big role as far as we are concerned.
But Attorney Ferdy, kasi he openly said that he's no longer interested to run as senator if it's re-election or in other position. So how do you take that? Part ba ito ng pag-step down niya na i-push na natin yung mga ibang individuals who are interested and who wants to run?
Yun ang sabi niya, pero kami, kinukumbinsi namin siya to run again. Kasi sayang naman his heart is in the right place. Alam natin that he is connecting with his message kasi ang daming bumabati ko sa kanya. Otherwise, they would just ignore him like Lito Lapid who says nothing. And,
So run
yes,
again for
re-election.
re-election, not for vice president.
Well, for any position that will suit him, because he is one of our best weapons. His popularity is very advantageous to the party, and as I have said, his heart is in the right place. He may not have the erudition of some politicians, but he has the street smart and may malasakit. That's the best way I can put it. May malasakit sa Pilipino, may pagmamahal sa bayan, at walang bahid ng corruption.
Can PDP now fill like the 12 senatorial slate in 2028?
Only the next few months can tell. We have quite a deep bench. As you know, we have 3 senators. So there are new leaders in the works. Like, for instance, Jimmy Bondoc, Attorney Jimmy Bondoc, who had a creditable showing during the last elections. Nandyan si Attorney J.B. Hinlo. Nandyan si Dr. Richard Mata. These are well-known personalities who are very high on the public awareness level. Mga senatoriables po natin yan.
You are also a public figure. I mean, and you will be more visible because you are the national spokesperson of PDP. Aren't you interested to run? Ito ba yung plano ninyo?
Well, my father was a politician, but I have never participated in elections except in the shadows, in the sidelines. But as I've said, I am a loyal party man, and if drafted, I will serve. As Lord Alfred Tennyson said in his Charge of the Light Brigade, ours is not to reason why, ours is just to do and die.
Now, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said Mayor Baste cannot blame PBBM for his, at least his father's case before the International Criminal Court. Castro said there will be no case if there were no victims in FPRRD's anti-drug campaign. What is the party's reaction to this?
The decision to kidnap PRRD and bring him to The Hague was a purely executive decision. And the chief executive is the president of the Philippines, so we can just leave it at that. We
Correct.
were under no obligation anymore to abide by the directives of the ICC having withdrawn in 2019. We are under no obligation to follow the Interpol. The Interpol rules itself says that they always defer to the national law of a member country. So it was an executive decision. The president cannot disavow, he cannot deny responsibility for that. And as his cabinet members admit, sina Remulla, yung mga police under them.
Isipin nyo yun mga kababayan, matapos gawan ng kabutihan ni Duterte, itong mga Marcos, ganito ang gaganti sa kanila. Sinong di magagalit talaga dun mga kababayan?
They were part of the cabal that made that kidnapping and transport to The Hague possible.